So welcome back to my channel and happy new year. This is Everything Household. Thank you so much for those who have subscribed. Thank you for those who are commenting. By the way, people are really commenting, people are really getting enlightened, and it's really encouraging. That's why it gives me more and more morale to do more videos. So as you know, our name is Everything Household. That means from appliances to detergents to lotions to soaps, name it. So today we are going to talk about the dishwashing liquids. The history, I always love giving histories. It's very nice to know the history of something. The dishwashing liquids, they go way back to 1800s. Remember, for those who have watched the video and I did the history of Vim and Sunlight, the dishwashing soap started also back then. So these things are way back in 1800s. But in Kenya, the dishwashing soap started showing in our country, coming in our market around, I think, mid 1990s, and mid 1990s. And Tipol was what I think Tipol was one of the brands that started off in our market when it comes to the dishwashing liquid soap. So in front of me here I have the Morning Fresh and I have the Tipol. And later we are going also to review Pride. So for now, let's start with this. So Tipol, it's quite old in our market. It's quite old in our market. This was among the first dishwashing liquid soaps that I saw. So it is from a company called Sudi Chemical Industries. It's here in Kenya. And Morning Fresh is from a company called Castles. Castles is an international brand. So yeah, that is about it. So for this one, it's a Lime Fresh detergent and it's an all-purpose. This one particularly, it's a dishwashing liquid. So with this one, you can use it more in the dishwasher compared with this one. So let me start reviewing Tipol itself, then I go to Morning Fresh, then I go to Pride. So for Tipol, what I loved about their soap, their Lime Fresh is quite balanced. The scent is balanced in terms of it is not strong, neither is it mild. The reason why I switched to liquid soaps, by the way, I have my fingers are quite very sensitive with soap. There are people who they have very sensitive skin, either the face or the feet. Mine, it's the fingers and also my feet. I have very sensitive skin. So when I used to use the bar soap or the dishwashing paste, I used to get the corrosive burns in my fingers. You could see like my finger, it looks like it's burned, but it's not burned. It's the porosity of the soaps really used to react with my fingers. So I decided to switch and see if the liquid soap can work with me. And since I switched, it was really relieving because it worked with me and it was friendly to my skin. So the first liquid soap I used was Tipol, because this is the brand that I used to see way back then. I used to see it in hotels, I used to see it in parties. Maybe there's a party and people want to wash the utensils. These are the products that I used to see. So for Tipol, one thing I also loved about it, their detergent is it is strong for the utensils, but not strong for it's not corrosive to the hands. But the thing that I didn't like about this particular liquid soap is that it's not thick. I realized the thickness when I bought Morning Fresh, and I realized that indeed the soap is thick. So this one is not thick. So when the soap is not thick, when the liquid soap is not thick, you are forced to use a lot. Though it has served me for quite a while, for 2 years it has served me, though my household is not huge, so maybe that's the reason. And another thing also, in the dishwasher, you have to put a lot of soap since it's not thick. So that's another thing. Maybe it's because it's an all-purpose detergent. That's why maybe they did not make the substance is not thick. I don't know their reasons, but maybe that's part of their reasons, because as you can see, it's an all-purpose liquid soap. But I love the scent, especially for me. I use a lot of electric appliances like the pressure cooker, the rice cooker, and especially for the electric pressure cooker, when you boil maize, there's that after smell for the maize inside the how's it called, the frying bowl or the boiling bowl. So it really helps. And also the rubber that holds at the pressure cooker lid, so it really helps eliminate that strong after smell, maybe for the beans, for the peas, you can name it, for the multigrain. So that's one thing about them. Then their packaging, they have never changed. I think they need to improve something. They need to improve on their packaging. At least it should be a bit different. So another thing I loved about the Tipple, their price is quite affordable. By that time I was buying, that is 2020, it was 560 shillings, and even right now in the market it's still balancing at the same price, so it's quite affordable. So let me start rating it. So when it comes to packaging, I give it a 6/10. They really need to change. They really need to give like a nice impressive packaging. When it comes to thickness, I give them a 7/10. When it comes to affordability, I give them 10/10. When it comes to cleaning power, I give them 10/10. When it comes to the scent balancing, I'm really very particular with scent, because this is something that deals with the utensils. I give it 10/10. So let's go to this wonderful product called Morning Fresh. When I saw Morning Fresh, they had written four more washes. It is four times more than the normal washes, and I thought the thickness, because it's super concentrated. By the way, I thought maybe most of the time it's marketing gimmick, but for this one it's quite true. It is super concentrated. For this, I have to, when I usually use, for when I'm washing through via the sink, I usually use the dishwashing liquid dispenser. I have the liquid dispenser, so I put some, then I dilute it with water to enable to balance it, because it's very thick. And still, when you mix it with water, because I do a half diluting, half diluting, balancing. So when you mix it with water, it's still thick. So one thing is that with this one, you will know it will serve me longer. Why? Because it's very thick. It will serve me longer. So that's the hack. For those who have bought it and you find it extremely thick, which is a good thing. It's a very good thing. That's one thing I give customers. That's a 10/10. Just mix on the container that you use, or the dispenser you use, just put half, then the half you put water. It will balance quite well. So another thing I loved about this is their packaging. Their packaging is so nice. This means that if you don't have the dispenser, you can always dispense your soap via this place. You just press it, dispense your soap via this place. So another thing I loved about this is their scent. This one is a zesty lemon. Their scent is quite balanced, though it's not as strong as done for Tipple. That's one thing I can tell you. This one is a bit milder compared. It's a bit mild compared with the one for Tipple, but you can still feel the scent. And then its color, it's really nice. It has that this one, the olive oil color. You see that the olive oil looks like it has the same color. So another thing I loved about this is there's something else I loved about this. Oh, it's also not corrosive to the hand. As much it is super concentrated, it's not corrosive to the hand. So how can I rate this one? By the way, when it comes to price, Morning Fresh is quite pricey. It's almost 1,000 shillings, so it's almost double Tipple and double Pride, because also Pride ranges the same place with Tipple, around 500 and something, but they were on offer, so it was going for 379. That was just like 3 weeks ago. Yeah. So when it comes to packaging, I give them 10/10. This one, they outdid themselves. Very nice. When it comes to thickness, 10/10. When it comes to scent, I give them 7/10. When it comes to pricing, I give them 6/10. But let me just say that maybe their prices are high because it's super concentrated. They know that this soap will take you for some time, will like last with you for some time compared with other dishwashing soaps. But the rest, it is good. So am I saying that Tipple is not good? No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, if you don't have money for Morning Fresh, you can always go for Tipple or Pride. If you don't have if you have money for Morning Fresh, you can always buy it. Another thing, if you're using a dishwasher, I would highly advocate for Morning Fresh. It is quite thick, because with this one, the dishwasher consumed more compared with this one, compared with the Morning Fresh, and also compared with Pride. Though Pride is also slightly thicker than Tipple. Pride is also slightly thicker than Tipple. So for this one, it works well with domestic use, the sink use, when you are just washing via the sink. But for this, you cannot dilute with water. If you dilute it with water, it will be over diluted. This one, when you dilute with water, it will be balanced. Pride, the proportions for diluting it, its soap should be 3/4, water should be 1/4. This one, soap should be half, water half. People don't dilute it. If you dilute it, it will be over diluted. It will not, how can I say, it will not work as it's supposed to. So for that is so that's what I can say for these two. So let's now talk about Pride. So like I was saying earlier, this is Pride. So Pride is also it's also, how is it called? It's a Kenyan company, and this is their liquid detergent, and this one is their scoring powder. The company that manufactures Pride is called Canon. They're called Canon Chemicals. Yes, I'm right. Canon Chemicals. So like I was saying, this one, number one, when it comes to thickness, Morning Fresh is the most thick liquid washing soap, then followed by Pride. So like I said, when it comes to proportion of mixing for Pride, you do 3/4. You do 3/4, so it's somewhere up to here. Then or here, 3/4 is probably here. Then you now add the water and mix it well, because it's also it's quite thick, not thick like Morning Fresh, but it's also quite thick. The reason I brought their scoring powder, one thing I can tell is that their scoring powder is very, very effective. Pride is a company that is really producing wonderful cleaning products. They also have a dishwashing paste, but like I said earlier, I'm usually very sensitive to dishwashing paste and also to bar soaps. So that's why today specifically I'm reviewing this dishwashing liquid soap. For Pride, it's also a multi-purpose detergent. And when it comes to their scent is also balanced. This one is lemon fresh. Their scent is also balanced. They also have the green one. I've forgotten the name of the green scent they use, though it is usually mostly with their dishwashing paste. For the liquid, I've not yet seen if they have any other except the lemon fresh. So for one thing, if I come to rating Pride, thickness, I'll give Pride 8/10. It is quite thick. Packaging, I'll just give them 6/10. I mean, this is they also need to improve on their packaging, but one thing I love, their gallons are they are brilliant white. I love their white, but they need to change it a bit, because I mean, to look attractive. When it comes to the scent I can give them also 8/10. Also their scent is it's quite strong, but when it comes to scent, Tipol has 10/10. Their scent is very strong. When it comes to another thing I can tell you about Pride, when you have the stainless steel cooking pots, or sufuria like we call them here in Kenya, Pride, their liquid detergent really cleans the stainless steel pots very, very well. Like, it leaves them sparkling clean. That's one thing I love about them. And their scoring powder, if you have especially the toilet bowls, the sinks, their scoring powder is very, very effective, and it is so affordable. Apparently this company, their things are not expensive. Let me say, they are not cheap either, neither are they expensive. They are very affordable, but they are very, very effective. So this is, I can say this one is also worth giving it a try. It's worth giving it a try. It's not very old in our market. It's not very old, it's not very new. It's somewhere in the middle, but it's very effective. Even their dishwashing paste, they are good, only that now for me it's a bit corrosive for my hands, but that does not mean it's corrosive for others. Let me say that we have different skin types, yeah. And also the reason I've said I love the liquid soap is because it does not leave residues on your utensils. At times you find, even when you use bar soap, you find some small residues of soap. Yes, you have rinsed well and everything, but at times you just find by bad luck that there are some residues, and it's the reason I love this. And also rinsing your utensils using the liquid soap, it's very, very easy and effective. There's one thing I really want to mention. When you're using the dishwashing liquid soap, by all means, if it's possible, avoid using hot water continually. The reason is because of the chemicals that they use to make these detergents, it starts darkening your nails, and the next thing you find that beneath your nails, you find that it starts swelling, and then you start getting pus. If you look at most people who work in the hotels where they don't have the dishwashers, the commercial dishwashers, if you check their fingers, you'll notice that some of their fingernails are black, or even the fingernails come out, or they have swollen and they have pus. It's because when you wash continually using this the liquids, and you're washing with hot water, at some point, because of the chemicals and everything, it usually reacts. That is something I can tell you. It's not about a company, it's not about pride, it's not about people, it's just in general. Even not these liquids, even the other house cleaning liquids, the multi-purpose liquids, don't avoid, if you can't, just avoid using hot water when you are cleaning your utensils. Unless, I know at times if you cook something like ox tripe really has some fat residues. You can just, once in a while, it will not trigger any any side effects on your fingernails. So once in a while it's allowed, but the continuous cleaning, it's really not advisable. So because I have the container which I can mix with, let me show you. So this one, I'm going to put it on 3/4. Do 3/4. As you can see, it's very thick. Can you see? It's really thick, by the way. Yep. So it's a 3/4, and you can see it's very thick. And the scent is it's quite there. But when it comes to scent, tipple is really, you can see it's very thick. It's thick, but not thick than Morning Fresh, but it's quite thick. Yeah. So yeah, it's 3/4, only that you can't see quite well because this is a bit opaque, but it's 3/4. Then now you add water, just normal water. So when you add water, you shake it a bit. This particular container, we purchased it from House of Leather. It goes for 200 shillings, I think 200 or 300 shillings. So you shake it to mix it well. Yeah, and your soap is thick. You see, it's still thick. That's how thick this thing is. And you see, you have put water. So yeah, that is it for today. So thank you so much, those who have questions. And for my new viewers, you can engage in the previous videos, and you'll see how people really ask questions, and they learn a lot, and they appreciate the reviews that I do for them, because it helps them when they come to purchase things. So if you have a question, would like me to review a certain product for you, just post on the comment section. Please share with your friends. Continue to like and subscribe. The more we grow, the more you like and subscribe, the more we grow. So have a lovely week. See you next time.